the factual basis as to counts 1 and count 2 of 16 CF 8779 is as follows. On Friday evening, December 19th, 2003, Jason Galehouse attended a Christmas party in Tampa. Mr. Galehouse and his friends, including Justin Laughlin, Jeffrey Lohr, and Tony Bragg, decided to continue the evening at a local club, Club 2606, located at 2606 North Armenia in Tampa, Hillsborough County, Florida. Mr. Galehouse separated from his friends to socialize at Club 2606. As Club 2606 was closing for the night, now early Saturday morning, December 20th, 2003, Jason Galehouse informed his friends that he had met 2 men and he planned to leave with them. Jason Galehouse family and friends have never seen or heard from Jason Galehouse after leaving 2606 with those 2 men early Saturday morning, December 20th, 2003. Tony Bragg has previously testified that the defendant was a person who had spoken with Jason Galehouse at Club 2606 that evening. Michael Walco lived in an apartment with a friend, Frederick Vanden Abel. Michael Walco had agreed to dog sit Patches for his close friends and former roommates, the Hartfords. After Michael Walco finished work at Bahama Breeze Saturday evening, December 20th, 2003, he left Patches with Mr. Vanden Abel, but only for the evening, but Michael didn't come back that evening. The last relative or friend to hear from Michael Walco was a cell phone text from a friend, Pete Carajalios, who had made comment. It was common for Mr. Walco and his friend to text each other, particularly when they were alone out late at night. The text sent at about 1:30 a.m. Sunday, December 21st, stated merely, quote, "On my way home," end quote. When Michael Walco did not return home, friends and relatives networked and distributed flyers in the area over the holidays asking for help in locating Michael. Michael Walco's body was finally found 17 days later in a parking lot of an apartment complex off West Hillsborough Avenue in unincorporated Hillsborough County. Michael Walco's badly decomposed body was wrapped in a printed fitted bed sheet and stuffed in the cargo compartment of Michael Walco's his Jeep. Joint investigations were initiated into the disappearance of Jason Galehouse and Michael and the discovery of the body of Michael Walco by the Tampa Police Department, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, and the Tampa Field Office of the Drug Enforcement Administration. After speaking with numerous witnesses, the investigation began to focus on the defendant, Steven Lorenzo, who lived at 213 West Powhatan, only a 10-minute drive away from Club 2606. That investigation led to the execution of several search warrants at 213 West Powhatan in the years 2004 and 2005. Among the items taken into evidence were stacks of hard copies of America Online instant messaging chats between Steven Lorenzo and persons with different screen names. One of those screen names was Master Scott, MSTRSCOTT, who would later be identified as Scott Schweikert. The instant messaging chats indicated that Schweikert and the defendant had met online in October 2003 and had also met face-to-face on several occasions, including planning to meet at 213 West Powhatan, December 19th, 2003, just hours before the disappearance of Jason Galehouse. The instant messaging chats also indicated the mutual desire to drug and forcibly engage in dominant sex of unsuspecting young men. Schweikert was interviewed by investigators on several separate occasions. Schweikert acknowledged his acquaintance with the defendant. He admitted that he, Schweikert, was with the defendant on December 19th, 2003. Schweikert acknowledged that he and the defendant met someone at Club 2606 who accompanied Schweikert and the defendant back to 213 West Powhatan when Club 2606 closed in the early morning of December 20th, 2003. Schweikert initially denied participating in any forced physical contact with Jason Galehouse and denied any knowledge of the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of Jason Galehouse. Schweikert also initially denied being with the defendant the following night, the night that Michael Walco went missing. Schweikert initially denied knowing anything about the death of Michael Walco. In subsequent statements, Schweikert admitted participating in the killing of Jason Galehouse and Michael Walco and the disposal of the bodies of Jason Galehouse and Michael Walco. Now, related to the killing of Jason Galehouse, Schweikert eventually admitted to participating with the defendant in the killing of Jason Galehouse. Schweikert admitted that after killing Jason Galehouse at 213 West Powhatan, he and the defendant used a reciprocating saw to dismember Jason Galehouse in the garage of 213 West Powhatan, placing each of the dismembered legs, arms, head, and torso in the garbage bags, and then randomly distributing those separate bags in separate dumpsters in nearby neighborhoods. Upon that information being supplied by Schweikert, a search warrant for the garage at 213 West Powhatan was approved. Investigators used preliminary serology testing and found indications of blood on the garage floor, and I'll make reference to that's Exhibit A, Your Honor. The serology testing found indications of blood on the garage floor, the flooring, which was comprised of cobblestone bricks recessed in the dirt below. The bricks were sent to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for DNA testing for comparison with the known DNA profile of Jason Galehouse. Susanna Ryan, known as Susanna Bullery, at that time was a DNA expert at the FDLE. Ms. Ryan has testified that the DNA profile of the suspected blood from the cobblestone flooring of the defendant's garage at 213 West Powhatan matches the DNA profile of Jason Galehouse, and the chances of this DNA sample being of someone else is 1 in the trillions. A gas mask, often used in sexual domination, was also found at the defendant's residence, 213 West Powhatan, during one of the court-authorized searches. Ms. Ryan conducted DNA testing on the gas mask found in the black bag in the defendant's bedroom at 213 West Powhatan. Ms. Ryan has also testified that the DNA profile of the gas mask matched the DNA profile of the known DNA profile of Jason Galehouse, and the chances of that DNA profile is of some person other than Jason Galehouse is 1 in trillions. No parts of the body of Jason Galehouse have ever been found, and exhibits, composite exhibits are displays of the cobblestone flooring and also of the cobblestone flooring before and after the grid was set up by investigators for explanation. Now moving on to the killing of Michael Walco. In later statements, Schweikert admitted to remaining at 213 West Powhatan all day Saturday, December 20th, 2003. Schweikert and Lorenzo then returned to Club 2606 late Saturday night or early Sunday morning, December 21, 2003. There they met Michael Walco, who was alone at Club 2606. They invited Michael Walco to return with them to 213 West Powhatan. Schweikert can identify the person depicted in photographs as the person who was killed by Schweikert and Steven Lorenzo, as will be explained later. Michael Walco drove his Jeep and followed along with Schweikert and the defendant to 213 West Powhatan. The defendant provided a drink to Michael Walco, who soon became essentially helpless in defending the torture and sexual assault and the killing at the hands of Steven Lorenzo and Schweikert. After killing Michael Walco, Schweikert and the defendant went about the task of cleaning the body of Michael Walco and other areas of the West Powhatan residence, which may lead clues to the murder. The defendant also took pictures of the lifeless Michael Walco at 213 West Powhatan. After the photographs were taken, Steven Lorenzo, the defendant, and Schweikert wrapped the body of Michael Walco in a bed sheet and placed the body in the cargo area of Michael Walco's Jeep Cherokee. Schweikert drove Michael Walco's Jeep and followed the defendant, who was driving the defendant's own Jeep. Michael Walco and his Jeep were left in the same parking lot where it was found, along with Michael Walco 17 days later, January 6, 2004. The color and print of the fitted sheet wrapping Michael Walco matches the color and print of a bed top sheet found at 213 West Powhatan. Investigators were also able to download photographs stored in the defendant's computer and camera, which was seized in one of the search warrants. The photographs included 20 photographs, time-stamped, all within a few minutes of 5 o'clock a.m., Sunday, December 21st, 2003. The photos showed the apparent lifeless, sometimes contorted body of Michael Walco, including evidence of a sexual battery in various positions inside the defendant's house at 213 West Powhatan. Michael Walco's roommates and friends have identified Michael as the person depicted in those photographs. The defendant and his federal attorney were showed those photographs. The defendant agreed that the photographs appeared to have been taken at 213 West Powhatan, and that one of the photos appears to include the defendant's hand posing the lifeless body of Michael Walco. The defendant, however, denied recalling Michael Walco or anything occurring at his residence in the early morning hours of Sunday, December 21st, 2003. Although Schweikert initially denied knowing about the killing of Michael Walco, in later statements, Schweikert admitted participating with Steven Lorenzo in killing Michael Walco. The autopsy confirmed the identity of Michael Walco as the person found in the Jeep on January 6, 2004. However, the decomposed condition of his body limited more details regarding the cause of death. Those are the facts that the state would intend to rely upon for this count, Your Honor.
And additionally, you have the photographs that are attached as exhibits.
We do, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to present that exhibit 1, composite exhibit 1,